Hari Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Hiranyagarbhaya Namaha. Om Shri Mahavishnave Namaha. Om Shri Mahadevaya Namaha. Om Shri Mahadurgaye Namaha. Om Shri Rama Ramaya Namaha. Om Shri Sadgurave Namaha. Om Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutrabhashakrita Vande Bhagavanta Punah Punaha Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpada Shankaram Lokashankaram सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः शङ्करं परमानन्दं ब्रह्मनिष्ठं यतीश्वरम् भाष्यभ्रान्तिहरं वन्दे शुद्धज्ञानैकबोधकम् ॐ नमः शिवाय 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 Om Namah Shivaya, 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 Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya, 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 Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya Namah Parvati Pataye Har Har Mahadeva Hari Om Hari Om. We'll begin with the Shanti Mantra. Om Bhadram Karnebhih Shrunuyama Devaah Bhadram Pashyem Makshabhiryajatraah Sthirairangaih Stushtuvagamsastanobhih Veshem Devahitam Yadayuh Swasti na Indro Vridhashravah Swasti na Pusha Vishwavedah Swasti nastaksho Arishtanemihi Swasti no Brihaspate Dadhatu Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Hari Om. We are studying this beautiful Mandukya Upanishad, along with the Karika of Gaudapadacharya ji and beautiful Bhashya of Bhagwan Sri Adi Shankaracharya. Shankaracharya ji begins his Bhashya with two beautiful Mangal shlokas, which gives the gist of the teachings of the Upanishad. Thereafter, he talks about the Anubandha Chatushtaya, the Vishaya, the topic of this prakarana is Brahma Vidya. And the prayojan is moksha. And since the Dvaita bhava is due to ignorance, knowledge dispels this ignorance and reveals that Advaita Tattva. And one who wants to attain this moksha are the adhikaris, one who has strong mumukshutvam is the adhikari. But just having strong mumukshutvam itself is not enough. Mumukshutvam is intense desire for liberation. But this mumukshutvam should be accompanied by other qualities like vivek, vairagya, shamadamadi, shat sampatti. Then only the mumukshutvam becomes effective. See, many people, they have this desire to become free of all their sorrows, all their sufferings, and attain supreme eternal happiness. But if this mumukshutvam is not accompanied by proper vivek, vairagya, and other qualities, it is not effective. So, what is vivek? Vivek is to understand with our intellect what is nitya and what is anitya. Nitya means which eternally exist without a change. And anitya means which constantly change. So if you look at this world, the world constantly changes. Not only the outer world, but even if you look at our own body, mind, intellect, ego, they also constantly change. So all that changes is called anitya. See, interesting, this anitya is also very interesting, that it seems to exist all the time, but it is changing. The world which we experience in front of us seems to be existing all the time. In the past it was existing, now it is existing, and in future also it will exist. But every aspect of this world change. Everything changes. Every second there is change in this world. But there is something which is not changing. And what is that? something which is not changing? That is the witness of this world. What Bhagavad Gita calls Kshetrajna. So Kshetrajna doesn't change. But the Kshetra, the world, changes. Kshetrajna we experience when we are in deep sleep. So whenever we go to deep sleep, we experience the same Kshetrajna. It doesn't change. Who is present even in the waking, but we fail to recognize the Kshetrajna in the waking. But the Kshetrajna never changes. And the Kshetra always change. So to understand this Kshetra and Kshetrajna, the distinction between Kshetra and Kshetrajna is called Vivek. Both are known. Kshetra is known and Kshetrajna is also indirectly known. So one who discriminates, one who understands the distinction between the Kshetra and Kshetrajna has got that Vivek, quality of Vivek. And once we have Vivek, we will also have Vairagya towards all that which changes. And along with Vivek and Vairagya, other qualities will also be acquired, like Shama, Dama, Uparama, Titiksha, Shraddha, and Samadhan. And with all these qualities, our mumukshutvam will become very intense and effective. And with this mumukshutvam, when we listen to the Upanishads, we will gain that knowledge of that Supreme Brahma. We will understand this Brahma as our own inner self. We will understand this Brahma as Kshetrajna as well as Kshetra. And all the false notion of Dvaita will get eliminated and we will attain moksha here and now. The world will continue to exist. The body, mind, intellect will continue to exist, but we will become free from this bondage of samsara. So this Bhagavan tells briefly. Now he briefly conveys what are the topics of these four prakaranas. There are these four prakaranas of Karika. The first prakarana is called Agama prakarana. The second prakarana is called Vaitathya prakarana. The third prakarana is called Advaita prakarana. And the fourth prakarana is called Alat Shanti prakarana. So, what are the topics of these four prakaranas? Means what are the main themes of these four prakaranas? That Bhagavan tells now briefly in his Bhashya. So let us read the Bhashya. Bhagavan says, कि तत्र तावत् ओंकार निर्णयाय प्रथमं प्रकरणम् आगम प्रधानम् आत्मतत्व प्रतिपत्ति उपाय भूतम्. He says that the first prakarana, which is called Agama Prakarana, it is called Agama Prakarana because the Upanishad is there in this prakarana. There are 29 shlokas of Karika in the first prakarana, along with the 12 mantras of the Upanishads. The Upanishads are also called Agama. Therefore, this prakarana is called Agama Prakarana. So, what is the topic of this Agama Prakarana? Tatra Tavad Omkara Nirnayaya Prathamam Prakaranam. The first Prakarana is meant to reveal the nature of Omkar. Om. Om is called Omkar. The essential nature of this Omkar is revealed in this first Prakarana, in the mantras as well as the shlokas. Agama Pradhanam. But what is the purpose of revealing the real nature of this Om? Because the topic going on is, the main topic of the Upanishad is Brahma Vidya, which is also called Atma Vidya. But here you say that the first Prakarana deals with Om. The real nature of that Om is revealed. What is the purpose? So Shankaracharya says कि Atma Tattva Pratipatti Upaya Bhutam. He says this Omkara Nirnay. When we come to understand the secret of Om, you will understand, you will attain your own self. You will attain your own Turiya Atma. Turiya Atma is not known. Turiya Atma has to be recognized and realized. So with the help of Om, we can recognize that Turiya Atma. With the help of Om, we can recognize Brahma. We can recognize our own Turiya Atma. That is the power, that is the beauty of this Om. Therefore, in Bhagavad Gita also Bhagavan says that among the Vedas, in the Vedas, I am Om, Pranavas Sarva Vedeshu. In all the Vedas, in all the spiritual literature of Sanatana Dharma, Bhagavan says, I am Om. See, all our scriptures, whether it is the Vedas or the Upanishads or the Puranas or Mahabharata, Ramayana or Dharma Shastras, they're all what you call expressions of Om. All of them explain Om. They are the Vistar of Om. It is the depth and greatness of Om. So if you know what is Om, you will know what is Brahma, and you will know who am I. So Om is the support. Om is the means with the help of which we can realize our own self. More about this we will see further. So this is the topic of the first Prakarana. Then what is the topic of the second Prakarana? Bhagavan says, कि यस्य द्वैत प्रपंचस्य उपशमे अद्वैत प्रतिपत्ति रज्वाम इव सर्पादि विकल्प उपशमे रज्जु तत्व प्रतिपत्ति ही तस्य द्वैतस्य हेतुतः वैथत्य प्रतिपादनाय द्वितीयं प्रकरणम्. This Dvitiya prakarana is called Vaidhatya prakarana. It logically negates Dvaita prapancha as false. As I said, Dvaita prapancha doesn't mean the world. And that is the misunderstanding which many people have. They think Vedanta has falsified the world. They keep quoting the famous shloka, which really is not written by Adi Shankaracharya, but has become very popular and famous. And people keep quoting, but it is not right. Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya. Jagat is not Mithya. Dvaita Prapancha is Mithya. And what is Dvaita Prapancha? The notion of two. That I am there and other than me something is there. This is called Dvaita Prapancha. I am there. And when I say I understand myself as the doer, knower, and enjoyer. When I say I think I am the doer of action, I am the knower of knowledge, and I am the experiencer of joys and sorrows. So I am there, and the world is there. And all these beings are there, who are all different from me. And Ishvara is there, who is also different from me. So to have this notion, this is called notion, this is a false knowledge. This is not true. So to have this notion of Dvaita is false. World is called Kshetra, and the seer of this world is Kshetrajna. Kshetra is not false, because Bhagavan in Bhagavad Gita also says that I am this Kshetra. He shows his Vishwarupa to Arjuna and says everything is myself. In the 10th chapter of Gita also Bhagavan shows so many vibhutis and says they are all my own self. So Kshetra is that supreme Ishwar alone, and Kshetrajna is also Ishwar. Kshetrajnam chapi mam vidhi sarva kshetreshu bharata. You understand that Kshetrajna in all the bodies are also me. I am the Kshetrajna in all the bodies. So, the Dvaita Prapancha is false. This is logically, rationally also one can understand. With the help of some examples, we can comprehend this. And when this false notion drops from our mind about this Dvaita Prapancha, then we will experience Advaita. Then that Advaita Bhava will happen. So, yasya Dvaita Prapanchasya Upashame, when the Dvaita Prapancha becomes Shanta, means it gets dissolved, then Advaita Pratipatti, then Advaita will be attained. One will recognize Advaita. Just like Rajvam iva sarpadi vikalpaha upashame. Rajju tattva pratipattihi. Just like a snake is seen on a rope, the snake is not real, the snake is false. The snake is false. The rope appears like the snake, which is true. The rope looks like a snake, that is true. But rope is not snake. Rope looks like a snake, rope appears like a snake, but rope is not snake. So one who thinks that rope is snake, his thinking is false, his understanding is false. When that understanding is thrown out, then what happens? Oh, he will see the rope as rope appearing like a snake. Similarly, Brahma appears like this world. Brahma appears like the seer of the world. But the seer of the world as well as the world are Brahma only. There is no Dvaita. So the notion of Dvaita is like considering the rope as snake, which is false. So this false notion of Dvaita is removed through logic, through examples in the second chapter or second prakarana of the Karika. So, yasya द्वैत प्रपंचस्य उपशमे अद्वैत प्रतिपत्ति रज्वाम इव सर्पादि विकल्पः उपशमे रज्जु तत्व प्रतिपत्तिः तस्य द्वैतस्य हेतुतः वैधत्य प्रतिपादनाय हेतुतः means with logic the द्वैत notion is removed. See, our buddhi has accepted this world and the seer of the world as different. The buddhi, our buddhi has got this dvaita prapancha, dvaita notion. The notion of duality is there in our buddhi. See, an enlightened person is there. In that enlightened person's buddhi, there is no dvaita prapancha. But in an ignorant person, the dvaita prapancha is there in the buddhi. Dvaita prapancha is in the buddhi. It is not outside. Outside the world is there, the seers of the world are there, and everything is Brahma only. Dvaita prapancha is in our buddhi. Just like the rope which appears like a snake is there outside. But to think that it is a snake, that thinking is in our head. Snake is not outside. Outside is only rope, which looks like a snake. But in our head, the snake is there, which can be eliminated only with knowledge. Similarly, the Dvaita Prapancha, which is there in our head, can be eliminated only with the knowledge of Advaita and through proper logic when the Dvaita gets negated. So, in the second chapter, which is very beautiful, all the chapters are beautiful, the Dvaita notion is negated with logic. So, hetutaha vaithatya pratipadanaya dvitiyam prakaranam. That is the theme of the second chapter of Karika. Then what about the third chapter? Since logically it is negated, the Dvaita Prapancha is negated, one may think that logically we can also negate Advaita. Logic generally is like a two-edged sword. If with that sword, if you negate Dvaita, then with the same sword one can negate Advaita also. But Advaita is the truth. So, in order to establish the truthfulness of Advaita through logic, the third chapter is there, which is called Advaita Prakarana. So Bhagavan says, Tatha Advaitasyapi Vaithatya Prasanga Praptau Yuktitaha. Yuktitaha means with logic. Tathatva Darshanaya, the truth, truthfulness, the truth of Advaita is revealed in the third Prakarana, Tatiyam Prakaranam. Okay. Now, what about the fourth Prakarana? What is the topic? Bhagavan Shankaracharya ji says कि अद्वैतस्य तथात्व प्रतिपत्ति प्रतिपक्ष भूतानि यानि वादांतराणि अवैधिकानि तेषाम् अन्योन्य विरोधित्वात् अतथार्थत्वेन तत् उपपत्तिभिः एव निराकरणाय चतुर्थं प्रकरणम्. There is this chaturtha prakarana, fourth prakarana, which is called Alat Shanti Prakarana. Alat Shanti Prakarana. And what is the topic? See, the Upanishads and all the related Shastra conveys the Advaita truth, that there is only one. Ekameva Advitiyam Brahma Neha Nanasti Kinchana. That there is only one supreme, ultimate reality. All this duality which one falsely experiences, falsely understand, is all false. Everything is one. See, multiplicity we see in this world. Multiplicity means variety of things and beings are experienced in this world. Even an enlightened person experiences multiplicity in the sense variety of things, but he knows that everything is one. Just like a person experiences variety of ornaments, bangles and earrings and necklaces and so many varieties of gold ornaments are there. The varieties are not denied, they are experienced. But to think that there is gold and something other than gold, that notion is wrong. There is only gold. Bangle is gold, earring is gold, necklace is gold, all the other ornaments are gold and gold alone. Other than gold, nothing is there. That is called Advaita. Other than Brahma, nothing is there. But the world is there. All the beings are there. They are there, but they are all Brahma alone. Sarvam Kalvidam Brahma. This is the Advaita. But there are some people, some thinkers, who deny this Advaita. They say, no, 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 Advaita wrong hai. This Advaita is false. Some people, they oppose this Advaita. Advaitasya tathatva pratipatti pratipaksha bhutani. They are like the pratipaksha. They are like the opposition party. Just like in our government also, we have what we call the opposition party. There is the ruling party and there is what we call the opposition. And what is the job of the opposition? to oppose. Whatever the government says, you oppose. They are called opposition. So in this Vedanta also, there are those who oppose this Advaita. And interesting, they may not themselves have any philosophy also sometimes. They just oppose for the sake of opposition. That whatever you say is wrong. Okay, what do you have to say? I don't have anything to say, but what you say is wrong. Those are called pratipaksha, opposition party. But there are those who oppose, but they also have their own philosophy. They are called Vadantarana. They are they have different vad, different opinions. Means people with different opinions, different philosophies. Like traditionally we have what we call the Nyaya darshan is there. Then Vaisheshik darshan is there. Then Yoga is there. Sankhya is there. Then Purva Mimamsa, Uttara Mimamsa. They, all these darshanas, they use the terms of the Vedas, the Upanishads. But their views are different. Their views don't match what is conveyed in the Upanishad. Like Nyaya Darshan, they, they have they tell us how to think properly, logically, what are the different aspects of thinking, how understanding happens, what are the various pramanas. But the ultimate conclusion is Dvaita. Atma is there and something other than Atma is there. Then this Vaisheshik also talks about the creation of this world, that the whole world has come from tiny little atoms. Atoms have come together. But they also talk about Dvaita, that I am different and this world is different. Then there is what we call Sankhya philosophy, Sankhya darshan. In Sankhya darshan also Dvaita is there. They say there are two eternal entities. One is called the Purusha and another is they call it Pradhana. What we call Prakriti itself is called Pradhan. So they say that these two are there, eternally existing. So they talk about Dvaita. Then there is Yoga, like Patanjali Yoga Sutras, Yoga Darshan. The Yoga Darshan is a practical application of Sankhya. What is conveyed in Sankhya Darshan, one can practice with help of Yoga Darshan. So through Ashtanga Yoga, through Abhyas, Vairagya, one can separate oneself from the Prakriti, from this Pradhan. The Prakriti and Purusha, they are joined together, therefore all sorrows are there. So you have to separate them by pursuing the path of yoga, Ashtanga yoga. But ultimately they talk about Dvaita. They say that there are as many Purusha, as many bodies are there. So that is the Dvaita Darshan, and even the what do you call, Purva Mimamsa, which relies on the initial portion of the Vedas. They talk about karma kanda. According to them, the ultimate goal of our life is to attain some higher world, like Swargalok or Brahmalok. And this higher world can be attained only through karma and upasana, by performing various rituals mentioned in the Vedas and the various upasanas, one can attain this higher world. One can live there as long as our punya is there. But after the punya is over, we have to come back. Krine punya martya lokam vishanti. Once the punya is over, the jivas, they come back into this world, and again they have to perform karma to gain more punya, and again go to Swarga, and then again come back. So this is also Dvaita Prapancha. So they are all wrong. You cannot have Dvaita and Advaita both as true. The Dvaita Prapancha is false. And all those who rely on the philosophy of Dvaita, they are all false. What they are saying is false. So not only there are philosophies which use the terminologies of the Vedas, but they express Dvaita. But nowadays we also have those who don't believe in the Vedas, but they too have their philosophies, they too have uh, their prayojan, what they want to attain, their understanding of this world, their understanding of the self, their understanding of what is the goal of life. So such other systems are there who are not in tune with the Vedas, who don't accept Vedas as Brahma. Like Buddhism is there, then Jainism is there, and nowadays we have this Islam and Christianity, and so many religions are there who don't accept Vedas as Brahma. Means they don't accept Advaita as the ultimate. They have different forms of Dvaita only. So in the fourth chapter of Karika, the fourth prakarana, their falsity is revealed. The falsity, the drawbacks, and the falsity of all these other Dvaita views are revealed and they are refuted. But very interesting, the Advaita Vedanta doesn't directly fight with them, but there are these different philosophies which are there, they negate each other. Like, for example, Vaisheshik is there, and this Sankhya is there. So Vaisheshik says that from these atoms and all, all these atoms have come together to form this world. World was not existing before, and then all these atoms they came together to form the world. Sankhya says no, world was existing before in potentially. Then from this pradhana, this world has come. So the Sankhya and Vaisheshik, they argue with each other, they debate with each other, and they prove that the other fellow is false. What he is claiming is false. And the proof which they give to negate that other fellow is very logical and very rational. So Vedanta accepts both this proof. They say, yes, what the Sankhya says that this fellow is false, we accept. The Vaisheshik says Sankhya is false, we accept. So in the bargain, both are proved false. So in this way, using their own logic, uh, have debating them against each other, and also using their own logic and showing their flaws in their logic. The other Dvaita philosophies and the Dvaita paths are negated as false. Because we should not only know that Advaita is true and proper, but we should also know that Dvaita is false. See, the path of spirituality is different from the path of politics. Politics have to take different people together. That is the drawback, or that is the way democracy functions. In a democracy, different people will have different views of what should be the law, how we should rule the country, what should be our policy towards other countries. And so many things are there. And different people, different parties will have different views. So when the election happens, all the different parties and people from different parties, they come together. And the majority, whoever are there, they form the government. And in that majority, there might be people of different views, but they are all taken together. चलो आप भी साथ में आ जाओ, आप भी साथ में काम कर लेते हैं. Other fellow who is lost, he waits for his turn. When his turn comes, he then removes all the laws passed by the previous government and sets up his own laws. So politics work differently, but in Vedanta, in spirituality, we have to understand the truth. And we cannot have falsity as partners in the truth. If Advaita is true, then Dvaita is false. We cannot say, नहीं नहीं, we will take Dvaita also, Advaita also, सब साथ में मिलकर जाएंगे. ऐसा नहीं होता है. That which is false has to be negated and thrown out. And that which is true, one should hold on to it. In Bhagavad Gita also Bhagavan says, all those false dharmas and false notions and false philosophies and false identification which you are holding on to, drop them all. Sarva dharman parityajya. Mam ekam sharanam raja. Surrender to me alone. Ekam. aham tva sarva papebhyah mokshayishyami ma suchah. So all the other philosophies and notions which are there are negated, and the Advaita is established in the last, this prakarana, the fourth prakarana, called Alat Shanti Prakarana. So tad upapattiभिः एव निराकरणाय चतुर्थं प्रकरणम्. Now further, one question. What is the question? It was said that the first prakarana, the theme of the first prakarana, the Agama prakarana, is to understand Om. The nature and the essence of Om is revealed. And when we understand Om, we will attain our own self. We will attain the Turiya Atma. Now the question is, what is the connection? What is the connection? Shankaracharya himself raises this question. He says, Katham punaha omkara nirnaya atma tattva pratipatti upayatvam pratipadyata iti. That how this omkar nirnaya, understanding omkar, how it gives rise to the attainment of the self. How Atma Tattva Pratipatti happens through Omkar Nirnay. That you should tell. So Bhagwan, what you call, quotes some mantras from the Upanishads. He says Upanishads have revealed this very clearly. So he says, he quotes from Kathopanishad, he says, Om iti etat. Then again in Kathopanishad, etat alambanam. Then from Prashna Upanishad, etad vai satyakamaha. Then again from Maitri Upanishad, Om iti atmanam yunjita. Then from Taittiriya Upanishad, Om iti brahma. Then from Chandogya Upanishad, Omkara eva idam sarvam ityadi shrutibhyaha. He says in all these shrutis, they say that if you know Om, you will know your own self. Because Om is the essence of what is conveyed in all the Upanishads. So first he quotes from Kathopanishad. We have studied in our online classes Kathopanishad. Unfortunately, this Kathopanishad talks we had on Facebook, but Facebook has deleted all the talks. And they are not now available on YouTube. But my talks when I had given long time ago are there on the YouTube. So in Kathopanishad, Nachiketa, a young boy, he approaches Yamraji, the devata of death, and requests him to teach him Brahma Vidya. He says, Nachiketa, he says, teach me about that tattva, which is anyatra dharmat, anyatra adharmat, anyatra kritat, akritat, anyatra asmat kritat kritat, anyatra bhutacha bhavyacha yat tat pashyasi tad vada. That please teach me that which you are experiencing, you have seen, that which is different from the dharma and different from adharma also. Even dharma and adharma are relative. So that which is different from dharma and different from adharma, that which is different from the cause and different from the effect, that which is different from the past and future, that which you see, which you are experiencing, that you reveal to me. So Yamrajji, he reveals, he says, ki sarve veda yat padamamananti tapansi sarvani chi yad vadanti yadichanto brahmacharyam charanti tatte padam sangrahena bravemi om iti etat. Yamrajji says that I will tell you what is conveyed in all the Vedas. Sarve Veda yat padam amananti. In all the Vedas, that which is indicated, that supreme pada, that supreme reality which is indicated in all the Vedas, tapamsi sarvani cha yad vadanti. And those who perform tapas, to attain which, to attain that supreme, people perform tapas. So that for which the seekers, they perform tapas. And yadichanti brahmacharyam charanti, yadichantaha brahmacharyam charanti, and to attain which they pursue the path of brahmacharya. That pada I will tell you. Tatte padam sangrahena bravimi. I will tell you briefly first. And what is that? And he said, oh, Om iti etat. That is called Om. Om is the name of that supreme reality. If suppose somebody asks some question, what is that fruit which is so sweet and nice? What is it? And he describes it in different ways. Then I say, oh, that is mango. So first we name that object. And then we reveal that object in more detail. Similarly, here, the Upanishad, the Kathopanishad, Yamrajji reveals that Supreme Tattva as Om. It is called Om. But why Om? What is Om? He says, Etat eva aksharam brahma. This Om is a akshar, is a sound symbol, it's a name. Ekakshar. It's a one syllable or one word name. One word name of that supreme reality. So etat eva aksharam brahma, etat eva aksharam param. It is not only the name of the manifest Brahma, but it is also the name of that unmanifest Brahma. Etat eva aksharam nyatva yo yadachati tasya tata. And one who knows this Brahma, such a seeker will not only know the manifest Brahma, but will know the unmanifest Brahma also, depending on what he wants to know. If he wants to know the manifest, he can attain it. He can reach that manifest Brahma, that Sagun Brahma. And if he wants to realize that Param Brahma, then he can know that Param Brahma. And this Om, why is so special about Om? He says, Yamrajji says, Etat alambanam shreshtham. This is the supreme support in order to know that Brahma, which is formless, nameless, beyond mind, beyond senses, incomprehensible. such a sublime Brahma, if you want to recognize, realize it, the greatest support is Om. So, etad alambanam shrishta, etad alambanam param. This is the supreme alamban, supreme support. Etad alambanam jnatva brahmaloke mahiyati. And having understood this Om, one rejoices in that Brahmaloka, one attains that Brahma and attains that eternal bliss of Brahma. So first naming that Supreme as Om, thereafter Yamrajji speaks about it in detail. So by knowing Om, we can know Brahma and we can know ourselves. Therefore, the first chapter of this Karika, the first prakarana, which is Agama prakarana, reveals the nature of Om. So this first prakarana itself is enough to recognize our own self and become free. The other prakaranas are to remove any misunderstandings which one may have and to make our understanding of Advaita more firm. More about this we will see in our class on Wednesday. Till then, you take care, be happy, safe, peaceful, healthy, do your work, do your sadhana, and see you again soon. Hari Om. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram. 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 Jaya Jaya Ram. Jaya Jaya Ram. Bole Siya Ramchandra Bhagwan ki Jai. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namah. Hari Om.